Very good morning to all of you. Dear students, today we are going to start our next chapter for 8th standard. Chapter name is Death to Marcus' Nephew. Earlier we have finished with this chapter in which there is sense that father and daughter going to meet or not. Here we are going to discuss about Marcus' nephew's death. Unaware of the disasters that had struck at home, Miss Pross was out shopping with Jerry Cruncher. Now we have one more lady in Miss Pross who went shopping with the Jerry Cruncher. As they were settling their last bill in a shop, the St. Antonio district, Miss Pross had a shocking encounter with a man. Now she has met with a man. No sooner did she look into his face than she screamed and dropped her basket on the floor. Now Miss Pross, trying to recognize that person, and very screamingly she was noticing that I may know that personality. Then when she little bit knew, she dropped her basket on the floor. Oh Solomon, dear Solomon, after all these years, here and now that person is Solomon. He is representing like that. The man looked around in a secretive, frightened way and then spoke in a low voice. Don't call me Solomon. Do you want to be death of me? Now he said, don't call me like with this name. Do you want that someone come and kill to me? But the woman was too overwhelmed. To withhold her crisis or her tears. She can't stop her cries, noise to call him, and she can't even stop her tears while seeing him. When she recognized to him, that is why she called him Solomon. Brother, why do you ask me such a cruel question? Why are you asking that? Then don't call me like this. He has told now, then don't call me, and do you want to be death of me? So she asking that why you have told me this kind of thing. Then hold your tongue, pay for your merchandise, and come outside. If you want to speak to me, he said that come outside if you want to talk with me. Outside, Solomon seemed calmer, even though Miss Pross was still weeping. She was continuously crying, and she is asking that outside, why outside? I knew you were here, sister. I know of most people who are here. If you don't want to put my life in danger, go your way as soon as possible and let me go mine. He said that if you don't want to me in danger, then please go continually as you were going. A number of people trying to recognize me, and I even knew them, so I don't want to get close to them. I'm an official and cannot risk being recognized. And now I'm working as an official work, so I don't want to be risk in that. Heaven knows that I only want the best for you, Solomon. Just give me one kind word and say you are not angry, and I'll keep you no longer. Now he won't say I'm not angry with you, that I will move from here. Suddenly Jerry Cruncher touched Solomon on the shoulder. May I ask you something? Is your name Solomon John or John Solomon? She's asking the name, that what is your name? Jerry Cruncher want to ask this thing, John Solomon or Solomon John. Now he looked at Jerry Cruncher in sudden distrust, so he don't want to have a trust on Jerry Cruncher as Miss Pross of his sister, but still he don't have any faith of anyone. What do you mean? What's your mean to say? I have seen you at the Old Bailey. You were a spy witness. and I could swear your name is John something. So he said that I know a little bit that your name is John and something behind that. Prasad, said another voice, striking in. He was thinking here. Everybody turned and Miss Ross gasped when they saw Sidney Carter standing in a cruncher's elbow with his hands behind him under the skirts of reading coat. Carton explained quickly. Now Carton has explained the thing. Do not be alarmed. Don't tell anything, Miss Pross. I arrived here yesterday to Mr. Lorry's surprise. Why he came? He came for Mr. Lorry's surprise. We agree that I would not present myself until all was well. Unless I could be useful, I had like to have a little talk with your brother. Jenkinson says that I will not be explain any of the thing until he is not going to be successful. I hope for your sake, Miss Pross. Miss Pross, I hope all these things will be okay. That wasn't Pauling around the undercover within a prison walls. He said that I don't want that he should be in a prison walls. I saw Mr. Prasad coming out of the concrete and remember faces well. He said that I know Mr. Prasad, all the things are coming to remember your face. Curious, I followed you to in the cafe and sat nearby you. Then he detected your undeserved conversation, and as well as you know from the rumors about you that you are indeed a spy. It is clear that my curiosity had a purpose. Now John Prasad knew he was now in danger position. It was a secret going to be out. What purpose he was there? It would be wise to explain in the street. Could we walk together till the office of Tellson's, for instance? What if I refuse? Are you threatening me? No, he said. If I refuse this decision, then are you threatening me? No, but I will not discuss it here. Prasad realized here that he had no alternative but to accept this thing. He cast a serious look at sister. Now he was getting an anger for sister. If any trouble come out of this, it will be your fault. Come, Mr. Prasad. I purpose that we first take your sister safely to the corner of her street and then go to Mr. Lorry's. As in this image, you can see the persons, Sister Joy Granger and Mr. Prasad and Solomon. In this, after they had left the Mr. Pross at their street, Carter led the way to the Tellson's wake, which was a little minutes ago, and Mr. Lorry just finished dinner and greatly surprised when they entered. Carter introduced the visitor, Mr. Pross' brother, Sir Mr. Prasad, I know this name and the face too. He said that, Mr. Lorry said that I knew his name and face also. I told you had a memorable face, Mr. Prasad. Please sit down. Then Carton turned into the Mr. Lorry and with frown, that means with happiness, he was witness at that trial. Mr. Lorry immediately remembered and cast a look of hatred towards the visitor. Carton briefly explained that Miss Pross had recognized her brother earlier and gave the sad news of Darnay's second arrest. The gentleman was shocked here. Unfortunately, Dr. Manetti give our influence time to Mr. Lorry. This is a desperate time when desperate games are played, desperate stakes. My stake is for my friend and in the concrete, and I aim to win Mr. Prasad. You need to have a good card, sir, said the spy. Carton poured himself and some water. He added some water and drank a glassful. Then he put the glass thoughtfully on the table. Well, let's see. He said that I have a great deal about you. First, you know the spy, then for the old government, and also know that English against the French. Shall I go on? What cards do you have? But Saad said nothing. He clearly held the poorer hand. My egg card. Mr. Prasad said, my egg guard that I know enough about you to report you to the citizens committee. But would you make no better than common spy yourself? He said, no, none of this better to being a common spy. I'm playing my act, Mr. Prasad, in a very few minutes. Prasad looked at Carter angrily here but accepted defeat. All right, whatever you want, he said to the jailer of the Congress. Yes, sometimes, but sometimes you may come and go, please. Yes, good. Now we can take. He has accepted the permission from the Congress that I may come to meet and go, please. Then it will be accepted.